what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at my favorite, well, actually one of my favorite foamy spot locations, because guess what? We have that one mid-size crossover SUV that brings timeless design and now gives you two separate powertrain options. It's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is a 2025 Mazda CX-70 PHEV. But before we get into this hyper-miling mid-size three-row SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So when you think of Mazda, you think of timeless design. I mean, you look at the Miata over the years, you look at the CX-5, the CX-50, nothing really sharp on edges or weird folds or creases. It just has a nice flow to it. Now, the CX-90 replaced the CX-9. You know, they're trying to bring their brand a little bit more upscale without charging an upscale price of admission. And with this CX-90, the big news, besides that redesign when it took place just a couple years ago, was the introduction of a straight six turbocharged engine or the plug-in electric hybrid version. With a plug-in, you're getting the best of both worlds. You have the internal combustion engine, you have the electric motor, you have the battery pack. You could do pure EV, or you could drive it just like any other hybrid without having to worry about connecting a cord to it. But what I want to find out is this the must-own if you're looking for some luxurious touches and some hyper-miling, but you don't want to break the bank? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if we can find out. Right off the bat, Mazda has some of the best colors. This one is called Blue Mica, and it really has a nice metal flake to it. I know from certain angles it looks black, but you can see in this Florida sun that beautiful blue. Now, I love the way they shaped the headlight housing. You have your LED daytime running lamps, LED headlights, most of it blacked out on the interior. And if you notice, it's not a large headlight housing. That gives it a nice sporty look. Working our way down, you do have functional corner air curtains. The one thing I would like to see here is maybe just some daytime running lamp that's vertical in that fake vent area. So I am gonna zonk that, but besides that, really nice looking front end. It's almost like this is what BMW should have done with their design instead of going the funky route with it. Now, as we come across that Mazda grille, you always know it's a Mazda grille because if you look at that chrome trim, see how it drops down like a half pipe when you're gonna go skateboarding? It actually mimics the design of the Mazda badge. We got a forward-facing camera, vertical slots, gloss black, fully functional, and then working your way down, you have a larger opening that's also functional with flat black and a little bit of that chrome trim. But definitely, like I said, no sharp edges on this thing, and I really love the way they work the turn signals into the top portion of that grille area. Very unique style. Now, as we rise up, super tight body lines, everything crisp with that sparkle. Like I said, you're just gonna flow right towards the windshield and then it evaporates. Even the way it's got this soft little curve that drips down, looks good. Coming around the bend, what are we working wheel and tire on this? You got 21-inch wheels, machined aluminum gloss black. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the tire size? Tires are actually 275 on the width, all four corners, 45 series sidewall. Of course, we have all-wheel drive. My one zonk is on the plug-in electric hybrid version, you got the flat black fender opening. Even though it's not huge, that's a big no-no. It would look glorious all in that blue mica color. But let me know what you think about the wheel setup. 21-inch wheel, good size without going too big. And I think the gloss black with the machined aluminum works well with the color. Now, coming down the side, I think they should put some side marker lights here instead of this fake vent. There's your PHEV plug-in electric hybrid, a little bit of chrome trim. You do have color matched on the mirror caps, LED turn signals, and 360-degree cameras. From the side, this is a midsize. Now, wait until we get to that third row. It's a little bit smaller of a midsize than some of the others, maybe like a Lexus TX. This would be a little bit smaller. Now, up top, you have those bright silver roof rails, aluminum roof rails. You could get crossbars, and they just have the bright, shiny metalwork along the top of the window frames. You are going to get color matched on the door handles. And then some flat black and that chrome with the Mazda name embossed. Looks nice. You know, normally I'm not a big chrome guy, but they drop just enough. They sprinkle just enough on this CX-90. Now coming around towards the rear, you are gonna have two doors. One door is for charging. You don't have to plug it in. You could drive it and charge it. You can also plug it in because it's a smaller battery pack. It's gonna charge it very quickly, and that's gonna allow you to drive pure EV if you choose to do so. Now spinning around back, it's close. It's close. I think if they would have made this spoiler come out a little bit further, I just feel like it's a little too rounded out back, like a freaking jelly bean. And I don't like it. I mean, I like jelly beans. I just don't like the way this is rounded. Plus the wiper underneath, if you extended that, would help balance out the slant of the rear glass. I think that's really what's making it look even more rounded than what it is. But the way they do their taillights, all that LED lighting, your little PHEV badge on the back. Of course, we have our CX-90 all-wheel drive badge. And unfortunately, unlike the CX-9, which this replaces, you don't have any exposed exhausts. I think like one tip on each side would just balance out the back with your blue mica, your flat black, and some of that chrome. Well, why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about the MPGs out of this SUV. All right, guys, we got the hood pop. They do a good job with the engine cover because underneath the cover is not the straight six. It is the four-cylinder. It's a naturally aspirated inline four. This is rear-wheel drive based, which is really nice with the all-wheel drive, of course. But it's a 2.5 liter, that bulletproof 2.5 liter inline four paired to an electric motor. Combined, it's 323 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. So you're actually not off by too much from the straight six turbo, and you're gonna get better fuel economy. It's got an 8-speed automatic, like I said, a lithium-ion battery pack. It's a 14.8 kilowatt size, 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 118 miles an hour. On the PHEV, it is a little less towing, 3,500 pounds worth of towing, rather 5,000 pounds on the straight six. MPGs, 24 in the city, 27 on the highway. Combined with the electric motor, it equates to 56 MPGs combined. The vehicle weighs 5,236 pounds, and you could do up to 25 miles of range without any fuel. So think about it. If you charge it overnight, which it ain't gonna take long time to charge because it's got such a small battery, you can do up to 25 miles on a single charge and not even use gas. But when you run out of charge, then you got the engine. See, you don't have to worry. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see it roll. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Mazda CX-90. This particular one, it is a PHEV, like I said, but it's the Premium Plus trim. Premium Plus, which brings some pretty premium things to the interior. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Joe, I'm so sick of SUVs, but I gotta have one. You know, my significant other will not drive anything but an SUV. I don't want something that looks like a soccer mom mobile. I'm kind of liking the style of this Mazda. How much is it? Very good question. This particular one, Premium Plus PHEV, has an MSRP of $59,000. Yes, it's definitely on the top scale of some of the competition, but if you compare this to like a BMW or an Audi, it doesn't even touch it because that's going to push the price point into the 70s. But let's see what you get when you go CX-90 to the door panels. Love the materials. You have the two-tone with the dark black. That's real open pore wood. I saw them cut down the tree. Silver trim, Bose sound system, and then that creamy interior. Not my favorite, but it definitely looks classy. No gloss black around the switchgear. Door pocket, you could fit, I would say, a double cheeseburger with some bacon, a Checkers fry, and a strawberry shake. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, that great material. I love the way they did the stitching, a little bit of piping. soft touch. Slide on in, you got your 12.3-inch infotainment system. Now, it is not a touchscreen unless you use Apple CarPlay. Then it becomes a touchscreen. But love the way it's mounted. It's actually very easy to see and kind of just allows everything to fall into place very nicely. Let me throw it into reverse because you're going to be blown out of your mind with, look how good the backup cameras are. I could count every single leaf that's dead down there. And you got your 360 and you got your trajectory. So they got you covered very nicely. We could go out the front. There we are out the front. Easy to use. Power on button because this is a PHEV. And then I love the fact that we have real toggle switches for our dual climate control. You can sync it up, drop it like it's hot. 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. I'm going back to ventilated seats, of course. Recirculation. You got your wireless charging, 12 volt, more of that wood finish. Look how nice that is, freshly cut. 2 cup holders. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic. MI drive are your different modes. I'll show you that when you come to the business end. Hill descent control, real volume knob. This is how you navigate through the infotainment system if you're not going to use Apple CarPlay with this twisty knob. Soft touch, open the door, 2 USB-Cs, and you got enough room in there, I would say, for 12 Twinkies. So you could go to town with the golden delicious treats. And the creamy center is sort of like the creamy interior in this thing. Seats, nice Napa leather. Love the way they did the different color. Nice bolstering, some piping. Full electric assist for the passenger. Full electric assist for the driver. I don't love beige interior headliners, but it works with the rest of this vehicle because it's beige interior. You can get black. And then you have that power shade for that panoramic sunroof. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I got 12.3 inches I want to slap you with right in the face with this digital gauge cluster. Come on over. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings. Got all the seat controls down below. Seats are comfy, supportive, and even though beige may not be your thing, you can't deny the style that they brought in here. Steering wheel, good thickness to it. Love the black on all the switch gear, even the horn button. I mean, classy looking, it works. You do have a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. I think that should be electric, so I am zonking that, but I do love the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. You got your power gauge, the battery gauge, fuel gauge, everything is digital. And then wait, there's more. You go into the different modes, and what that's going to do is it's going to change up the graphics. I like that. Look at that. It's like freaking, oh my God, it's like Back to the Future. I hit 88 miles per hour. And then off-road, which is really nice as well. But we're going to leave it in sport, and there's a head-up display. But why don't we go ahead? This is a 3-row. Let's get to that mid-row and 3rd row and see how it goes in the CX-90. Guys, mid-row time, you do get the captain's chairs. Same great Napa leather. The zonk I have are the armrests. You seriously got to be a stick figure that I used to draw back in elementary school when I thought I was an artiste to use this. So that's the problem. You have these little tiny travel tray where you could put 2 drinks and maybe a few Slim Jim. Steven loves Slim Jim, by the way. He eats them every freaking day. He thinks, sometimes I wonder if he thinks he's Macho Man Randy Savage. He wishes. Back of the seat, the leather, nice large pockets. Look at that. You could easily put 2 packages of Oreos. Maybe make 1 regular, 1 double stuff. My mom used to never buy double stuff Oreos because they were never on sale. She's like, forget about it. I'm like, oh, great. So I used to try to make my own with the singles, where you separate them and then put them together. Back of the command center, you do have USB-Cs, AC vents, 3 stages of heated seats, no ventilated seats. That's a zonk, because the button goes right there. There's all your digital readouts, the temperature. Seats, feel good. You got your sun security shade, the wood finish, soft touch. Seat slide. They recline a little bit. I mean, that was like, I didn't even like a recline. I guess technically it's a recline because I'm moving backwards, but I really feel like not much in my life has changed. So, just like with some of the other decisions I've made. But you do have the sliding seats. Now to get into the 3rd row, we're gonna do this all in one shot. You see this finger right here? You're gonna put it here. And that's gonna move that out of the way. And then you're gonna climb in here like so. So, I'm not touching the headliner. That's a good thing. My knees are high, but I like the way that my legs are angled. But you could see my size 12s, I got to kind of squeeze them. I would probably go like this. This feels better. Now I'm chilling like a villain. What was that beep sound? I don't even know. Something just beeped at me. I probably just pocket dialed somebody. Some old girlfriend from high school or something. USB-Cs. It's plastic back here, but I guess somebody's got to take one for the team, and it's going to be you sitting in this third row. But there are AC vents, which are good. But why don't we go ahead? Let's get in the cargo area because I want to take you for a drive in this PHEV CX-90. All right, guys. Hit the button, old-fashioned way. Underneath the Mazda badge, nice electric assist. I left the third row up to show you how much room we have. It's 15 cubic feet of space. Fold down the third row is going to give you 40 cubic feet of space. Fold down the mid row is going to give you 74 cubic feet of space. Now, you'll notice that we do have a home power source on one side, but check it. Check it, 1, 2. Another home power source. So you got 2 plus a 12 volt. So they got you covered there. Putting down the 60-40 split rear seat is easy peasy. I love these. You just pull and push, man. Do we need to make it any more complicated? That's going to give you all that nice room, super flat, and then you fold down the mid row and you could go to Costco, no problem. Lift this up, you got your charging supply, accessories to plug this in and charge it at home, charge it at work, and then you're good to go. Well, why don't we go ahead? It's that time. I got it charged up. We're going to hyper mile and see just how far we could drive this CX-90 on a tank of gas. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2025 Premium Plus CX-90 PHEV. And right away, you're gonna love how this interior is set up. They did a great job when it comes to the materials, the high-end feel, and all the finishes. The one thing that I know is still a sore spot to many people is the non-touch infotainment system screen. But like I said, if you use Apple CarPlay, then you do have that capability. You'll notice that because of the way the gauges are set up, we're in sport mode. And all by the press of a button, I could bring up our forward-facing camera and 360 while we're sitting here at the light, which is really, really nice when it comes to not so much at a light, but when you're parking, that's going to help you so you don't curb those 21-inch wheels. Heated seats, ventilated seats. I guess the one thing that's missing is our massage seats, and I'm sure eventually Mazda will be bringing that to their SUVs. But the seats have a nice comfort feel to them. They're not too soft because you don't want to be sitting in a beanbag chair. And then, of course, you have the Napa leather, which is great as well. But everywhere you look, it does not feel cheap inside this interior. Visibility out the front is nice, just enough of the top of the hood so you have a reference point there for when you're driving. And you're really not going to notice when the engine turns on and off with the hybrid system. They do pump in a little bit of synthetic sound, simulated sound through the speakers, but it's just enough to where it gives a little bit more depth to the driving experience. And that's another thing to remember, is that when it comes to driving, that's what Mazda really focuses on, is the driver. They want to give you that experience where you're going to have nice handling and good control, especially with the all-wheel drive system. Paddles on the back of the wheel to go up and down that 8-speed automatic, no CVTs. And then we're going to go on throttle here, see how it goes, especially in sport mode. All right, you ready? All right, throttle, here we go. So like I said, when it comes to handling, when it comes to getting the power to the ground, that all-wheel drive system works great. Rear-wheel drive based SUVs handle better than front-wheel drive based SUVs. And even going over things like speed bumps, I mean, they tune the suspension in a way to where it's not super harsh. If you need to make a U-turn, it's actually pretty easy to do. Good turning radius. And then of course you also have all your safety features in here. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, cross traffic assist, backup assist. I mean, you're assisted 20 different ways from Sunday. But let's go on throttle again. On throttle, torque from the electric motor, get you going. And you'll notice in sport mode how it holds the gear and lets you really get ready to rock and roll and go back on throttle. These vehicles in twisty bits will surprise the heck out of you, especially the PHEV, because you do have the lower center of gravity from the battery pack, which is fantastic. But you can hear that simulated sound being pumped in. Like I said, nothing too obnoxious. The vehicle isn't floaty at all. It's got good sound deadening material and acoustic windshield. So it's gonna cut out a lot of the exterior noise in your life. And it's very, very maneuverable. I mean, if you notice, I'm able to get over very easily, even though I'm in a midsize crossover SUV. Got the head-up display. Within the head-up display, it does show your blind spot monitoring as well, which is fantastic. But very impressed with what Mazda's bringing, especially for the money. The good news is, with the electric motor, when you gotta pull out into traffic, it's got plenty of get up and go, because you have that instant torque from the electric motor paired with the 2.5 liter inline 4, and that really helps it compensate for that power and torque. But the way that it delivers the power, it's super smooth, very linear, and it doesn't feel like there's just obviously a 4-cylinder underneath the hood because of this being a plug-in electric hybrid. And then, like I was saying earlier, you could do up to 25 miles of pure EV driving, which makes this even more versatile. But it's definitely one you should consider, especially if you don't want to go full luxury brand and bring all that extra pricing that comes with it, because Mazda is, or has, really elevated their brand without going full premium and then bringing the crazy pricing that goes with it. But I hope this has been a good overall review of what this CX-90 plug-in hybrid is bringing. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day in so many ways with this CX-90. Definitely got to thank everybody at Mazda USA for allowing us to have access to this press fleet vehicle. Let me know what you think. PHEV. It's not the newest technology, but yet a lot of people still haven't adopted it yet to their own garage. But fascinating to have all the great things about a CX-90, but also have that better fuel economy. Is this the better way to go? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rise family. We got to thank Stephen Flood. He just broke, believe it or not, a Guinness Book World Record. He slid on the longest slip and slide to date, over a quarter mile. It's crazy. His name's in the books though. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.